Yo, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video on Bubba. And as you guys probably read by the title, today's video is going to be the PvP guide. I know a lot of people have been asking me to make the PvP guide, how to get better at the game, just kind of things like that. So that's what this video is going to be. If you guys end up enjoying it, like and subscribe to the channel. My current goal is 15,000 subscribers. We're super close, so I appreciate anyone who has subbed recently. Or if you've been subbed for a while, I appreciate you just as much. But yeah, and also join my Discord. I'll be inside the description. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first tip is a video that I already made, but custom keybinds will be the #1 thing that actually improves you in this game, because you will just get way more inventory space. You guys can see down here, I have my whole thing filled out with combat move, because I have custom keybind set up. I already have a full video on how to set it up, but here you guys can see mouse settings right here, buttons, boom, I have all these, save it to your mouse, boom. And now you guys can see, for example, if I press like this front one right here for Mortal Ties, which is on 7, boom, it'll do Mortal Ties. And the same for my keyboard settings, which have 0, the dash and the equal sign. That is probably my #1 tip to actually improve in this game, is to get custom keybinds. I have a whole separate video if you guys want to know how to set it up and all that. But yeah, that is going to be the first tip, is going to be custom keybinds. Now the second tip is going to be your play style. Now I'm not talking about your build, I'm not talking about your race, anything like that. This is purely how you're supposed to play in rank. So basically, well, not really ranked. This is combat in general, but it especially helps in rank. So your playstyle, I personally, the playstyle that I like to use in ranked and other demos like that, where it actually like really depends on your playstyle, not kind of just spamming moves. Like overworld, you can literally spam moves and kill 90% of the people because they're all like drones. But ranked, clan wars, and other things like that, you guys are gonna have to adapt to a certain playstyle. There is a bunch of different playstyles. The one that I personally think works best inside this game is just waiting for your opponent to make a mistake. Play a lot slower than them, because a lot of the time people will just run into the fight not really thinking about what they're doing and make a lot of mistakes. For example, if someone like does the dropping move for speed and drops like right in front of you or something, then you can just hit them with like flower passage, horizon, really anything that will punish them. So that is my personal playstyle. I kind of wait for my opponent to make mistakes and play a little bit slower than everyone else. But you guys will have to find your own play style. That is the most important thing. You guys can literally play hyper aggro. I know a lot of streamers and YouTubers that play literally just push as hard as they possibly can, and it confuses a lot of the opponents because they're used to people playing passive and ranked in clan wars. So that's probably my second #1 thing that I would tell you guys, is to find your own play style, because that is what will instantly improve you as well. If you realize your own mistakes, like if you're not that good at parrying or something, then you guys will probably want to flash that way more so you guys can actually dodge stuff. But it really just depends on who you are as a personal person. I would play a lot of ranked and a lot of clan wars to actually find out your playstyle, and probably fight against people that are better than you. If you know any friends, if you're inside a clan or anything, just 1v1 them and like just take the loss. Literally fight them until you improve at the game, improve at parrying, improve at all that. And that is probably going to be my third tip, is to fight better people. The better people that you fight, the faster that you'll improve, because you will be fighting the same, really good person. But at the same time, you guys want to fight a variety of good people. You don't want to be like only fighting Vert or Nano non-stop, because they will just like dominate you the whole time. You kind of want to ease up to it. So basically someone that's like just like, someone that's better than you, but not like too insanely better than you, is who you're going to want to start up fighting. And then, work towards better and better people until you're eventually fighting like some of the top players inside of the game. Now, obviously, you will have to be inside a clan or something for that method to work, but it is probably going to be the fastest method to actually improve in the game. And then we're going to talk about builds, because obviously builds are reliant on how good you are in the game. Obviously, you can be like the greatest, the best parrier, the most aggro person, every single combo, and it does not matter if your build is completely buns. Like, yeah, you can get kills, but builds are pretty reliant inside of this game. So if you're Quincy, I recommend going Keto or going Octida. But keep in mind, both of those could be getting nerfs pretty soon, because the whole community is complaining about it. If you are an Arontar, I especially recommend Tendo, because it just works really well with most of the things. But you can kind of run whatever. I know Arontar Keto is good. I know Arontar Octida is good. I know really anything works with Arontar. Same with Story Reaper. You can use anything other than Octida. It works, and they're probably going to buff it a lot soon, but we really don't know until we see the patch notes, because everyone is saying that Story Reaper Hotada is like one of the weakest things of the game. P-Dash Shunko is just straight buns. But yeah, and then clans and all that, I have separate videos on basically everything. But if you're Quincy, I recommend using Wandon as your weapon if you are Hotada. If you're not Hotada, then I recommend, I forget what it's called. It's like the shanks looking weapon. Or you guys can always just use the cutlass as well. If you're a Soul Reaper, I recommend Blood Edge or Bardon's Axe. And then obviously for Hakuda, you use the Hakuda weapon. And then if you're Soul Reaper, really any weapon works, but Longsword and Katana are the especially good ones. And obviously if you're Hakuda, you'll just use Hakuda. But yeah, that's it for builds. Play against better people. The next tip that I can give you is going to be using a Roblox FPS unlocker. You guys can see if I press Shift, FN, and 5, you guys can see in the top left of my corner, I am playing on 120 FPS, which normally Roblox is 60 FPS. If you guys are wondering how to do that, just go on YouTube site, type in Roblox FPS unlocker, download the thing that they tell you to download, and then you will actually uncap your FPS on Roblox. It makes you play insanely better as long as you actually have a PC that, you know, will get decent FPS. Mine's 120 because that is how good my monitor's refresh rate is. So obviously, if you have a 60 hertz refresh rate monitor and you're running 240 FPS, it won't do anything because you'll only be seeing 60 hertz. So yeah, you guys kind of need to do research into that, but that is also one other way to improve it today. So basically, it's just a lot of third-party programs with, you know, your mouse, custom keybinds, keyboard custom keybinds, Roblox FPS unlocker. Like, yeah, you have to use a lot of third-party softwares, but none of them give you viruses or anything. They're trusted by Roblox and all that. But yeah, the only actual like tip that I can give you to improve at PvP, that has to do with in-game is fight better people, learn your playstyle, get a good build, just keep playing the game kinda, because you'll need to learn the parry timings for basically everything. And obviously stuff will get nerfed and buffed all the time. So, you know, your build could come completely out of whack. So honestly, my next suggestion is going to be having at least 2 slots that are fully leveled up. Because let's say your Quincy slot gets completely gutted, you won't be able to like keep going farther in range, keep going farther in clan wars because your build will be gutted. It depends on how much they nerf it by, but a lot of the times when they nerf something, they way over nerf it and just completely gut it. And a lot of the times they don't change it back. So I would recommend having at least like probably a Quincy or an Arankar, and then a Soul Reaper. The reason why I always recommend having a Soul Reaper slot is because they get a lot of content a lot of the time, and will keep getting stuff like Fullbringer, you know, True Bonsai and all that, because they don't really have a lot in the game. Where Quincy's and Arankar, I mean, they might get some stuff, but it's not going to be nearly as much as Soul Reapers will get into the future. So I recommend having a Soul Reaper slot with an Arankar or a Soul Reaper slot with a Quincy. And that will kind of make you better, because then if one of your builds gets gutted, at least you have a build to fall back on. But yeah, to actually improve in the game, just put in more hours, learn the parry timing, go against way better people than you. It doesn't matter if you just curb stomped every single time you fight them. It does not matter. That is what you want. If you guys don't really care about being the best at this game, then just fight someone barely stronger than you. It really doesn't matter. If you win 1 out of 9 times, that's better than nothing. But yeah, just fight people that are better than you, put more hours, get extra slots, use FPS unlocker, use custom keybinds so you guys can actually be using more moves, and any other tips that I said that I forgot that I said. But those are going to be the best methods to actually improve in this game, like fundamentally. Obviously there is short ways to become better, like for a very short amount of time, like obviously like, oh, abuse the best build, all that will make you good until that build is nerfed. What this video is for is actually boosting your fundamentals, and I feel like every single tip that I gave you guys here will boost your fundamental gameplay, instead of, you know, short gameplay like where you're good for a little bit because they completely overtuned something. I never recommend changing your build if they insanely buff something, because more than likely, if it's too insane, then they will nerf it instantly. But yeah, that is pretty much going to be the full video to actually improve in Type Soul. If you guys have any other questions for certain things, just let me know down in the comments down below. That's every tip that I use when I play. I don't really use any other like super secret methods that automatically make you insane. It's kind of just playing the game more, getting used to the game, learning your playstyle, using FPS unlocker, using custom keybinds, kind of just everything like Deep Lotions was, except, you know, for Type Soul. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys inside the next one. And also leave down some video ideas inside the comments. But that's it for me. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe. And yeah, see you guys maybe later today. It depends when I make my next video. If they update today, just know I'll have a video on the update. But yeah, see you guys inside the next one. Peace.